Had somebody in the congregation ask why I'm wearing Christian Dior and Christian Louboutins. Because I'm a Christian and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. I'm a Christian first and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Give him some praise. Give him some praise. So we are raising funds for a project.
Oh. That man is wild.
Welcome back to another Hawaii Central podcast episode. I am one of your Uncle AK. And, beautiful Hannah's over there. What's good with you, girl?
I'm good. How are you, Uncle AK? How's it
I'm
going?
good. I'm good. Happy Tuesday. Yeah. Tutu can't be with us today. Teres can't be with us today. But we're going to hold it down for them. Catch you guys on the next one for sure. But let's get into it, man. You know what I mean? It's been a very fun week, as you guys, heard that intro. That intro. Anyways, go ahead.
Okay. So obviously, y'all, I'm sure that everybody at this point knows what video that was from. That was Druski, right? So let's kind of break it down if you haven't seen the video, because this man is wild. So Druski released a skit. Okay. The skit opens with him being suspended, like wires suspended from the ceiling. This man has on Christian Dior, Louboutin. There's smoke coming out everywhere. Yeah. He's chilling.
He's chilling, definitely. He spoke about a fundraise. He spoke about raising $4 million for a campaign in Zimbabwe. Project. Pressuring the congregation. Then there's that scene at the end. The pastor living in a Bentley, telling the homeless man, it's for the church, but congregation can't drive it.
The homeless man was leaning on the car, and he was like, "Wait, did you tithe today?" "Nah, I took it off my car."
Yeah. And then he spat his gum at him.
Yeah, crazy.
Very, very crazy. I mean, it was pretty dope. The whole production. The first time I seen that skit, kid you not, I wasn't even worried about what happens in megachurches. I was more worried about, I was fascinated by his whole scene. In my head, I'm going, bruh, this production is dope. Like, he really set this whole thing up.
He really did. I thought it was actually a real church. Like, I thought it was like actually him going like on a real Sunday to a real church and doing all this.
Nah, it can't be. Impossible. It can't be. No.
It looked like it at first. I feel like when I first saw the video, I was like, whose church? Because he goes to like McDonald's, doesn't he? He like goes to like real things. Like, in my head, I'm thinking he's at a real church. I don't know. The first time I saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "Ooh, hold on." I felt like I didn't watch the whole thing, and then I had to like sit back a little bit. I was like, "Hold on, let me try again." Second time, I was like, "Okay." It went over a little bit easier. I don't know.
At first, I didn't recognize some of the things he was referring to, but I knew he was definitely taking shots at some pastor, but I didn't know. Up until I saw another video that somebody had actually went and captured each one and compared it to the skit.
Right. Yeah. And I was like, dang, he went in. He went in. Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, so which specific like part of the skit is ingrained in your memory, or like what's the first thing that kind of stuck out to you?
Outside of everything, the one where he's actually doing the frog thing,
like hopping over people.
Yeah. No. Sorry, the one on the ground, like the belly thing that you're crawling.
Like the worm.
Yeah, the worm thing. Sorry, the worm.
Yeah.
I didn't know he could do that, bro. Like, I really did not know. I was shocked. I cannot do it. You know what I mean? So to see him do it, I was like, whoa, that man got skills. I was like, yo. And he's saying that, and he kept, wait, what was he saying then? I think it was something he was saying. Like, he kept doing that one thing, and he kept repeating the word. Oh, wow. It was pretty funny. What about you?
No, the part that really, really got me, especially because, like, I feel like I could literally imagine other pastors saying it, was what we opened with when he said, like, I'm wearing Christian Dior because I'm a Christian first, and I walk in the blood of Jesus. Like, I feel like because pastors do that all the time, they feel like they have a bar And he just exploited that. So that's the part that I remember the most.
Yeah, he sure did. He did invest a lot of money into this production, right? We're talking about wires, smoke machines, hundreds of extras, like for real. I mean, every time you see a skit of his, just level, like it's around level up. It's around level, you know what I mean? Yeah, just get better and better and better. So, do you think that he did a great job at mimicking this, the pastors, or it was just fun?
I think he did a great job because obviously it caused a lot of ruckus and like a lot of controversy, right? Um, and I think it was done. I personally think it was done very, very well because it's like it really shows how these mega churches or how a lot of churches are today in 2026 and just kind of how ridiculous things are getting. Um, but also I think that some people who maybe feel offended by it maybe feel offended because they think it looks ridiculous. They think that they're being mocked, but it's like, but can you not see how ridiculous it is? So I don't know. I think that it caused a lot of discussion, um, caused a lot of laughs, but I thought it was done very well. What do you think?
Well, they always say that if the shoe fits, wear it, right?
Exactly.
So if you feel offended by it, then something is working. You know what I mean? Like then that means you were sitting in that congregation, and in the back of your mind, sounds like, yeah, this is not right. But you probably read too deep, you know what I mean, to kind of say something, and you just go with the flow. But now that somebody's put light to it,
You're like, that's this.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I think that there's a line. Now there were parts of the skit that I will say that I feel like he was tiptoeing towards that line and being like, okay, not too much, Druski. But I feel like,
for example,
like, I don't know, I didn't like the part when he was like, I'm gonna impregnate people with the word of God. I don't know, like that made me feel like uncomfortable. I don't know, it rubbed me the wrong way. And it made me feel like he was tiptoeing towards that line. I don't know what about it. It's just like it is set like it sounds. I want to have the word of God in me. Yes, right. The way and like he was like hip thrust, it just like, it just gave me the ick, right? So I feel like maybe I won't call it blasphemous, but it made me feel uncomfortable as you're talking about my Lord and Savior.
But that's the point, right?
Yes.
That's the point, because that's what he's literally doing what the mega pastors would do. So if they're doing that, that should already make you feel uncomfortable. So this video right here is shedding light to all those things that is happening. It's not like he just yanked that from the sky and said, yeah, I'm gonna just add this to it. No, it's actually what the dude say. Just prior to us starting this, this recording, and you mentioned this, and I said, have you seen what happens in Africa, for example, in these big churches? And you said no. And I showed you on YouTube, what these other people, I mean, it's crazy what people believe in and what people sit through. It's crazy. That's all I have to say. It's just crazy. But like to say, to each their own. But at some point, that phrase that goes to each their own should not be, used anymore.
Yeah.
Because what are we doing?
Yeah. But I feel what I was going to say is I do feel like there's a difference between being blasphemous and shedding light to what's going on in the church. So like, I feel like if he would like I don't want to say like, I can't really think of what he could have done that would have been like more blasphemous. I feel like if he was really mocking God, right, that would have been like, okay, you've gone too far. And I feel like people would be justified in their anger, but it wasn't. It was all about the pastors and how like the production of everything and how everything is a show. So I don't know. I think if you're hurt, if you're a little butthurt about it, you might need to do a little introspection.
The crazy thing is just like everything else is going to roll back. It's going to roll back. Just in the next few weeks, we're not talking about this anymore. Just again, prior to us started this, you mentioned about one of the people who he was, that Christian Dior suit he got on, and one of the people who had that on too as well. We're watching that video where he's spotting his hand, and he put on that dude's face.
Wait, hold on. You gotta give these people a disclaimer. Hold on. Y'all. You gotta give these people a dense because if you can't just say like he spat in his face and da 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 da. Hold on, pause. So, we were looking up mega churches, looking up, kind of again who Druski was like, mocking and stuff, and it was part of it was Pastor Mike Todd, right? And I was like, Uncle Eke, have you seen the video where Pastor Mike literally spat into his hand and then put it on the face of one of his congregational members, right? And we watched that, and it was as foul and disgusting as y'all think. And there was a message in there somewhere about what did he say that when you turn to face Jesus, things can get nasty or something like that. You could tell me that without having spit and phlegm on my face.
Definitely.
You can tell me all of that. You can make the same point without demonstrating it. And I don't need, and then you have the people in the congregation. Yes, preach, Pastor. Yes, come on. No. Because you wouldn't be up there trying to have spit in your face. So anyway, continue, AK. I don't even know what you're trying to say.
You bring up a very great point too, right? The people in the congregation. So I'm like,
y'all seeing that?
How much brainwash can people be? I don't even know if brainwash is the right word, but I'm gonna just use it in this situation because I cannot sit in the congregation and my priest decides that you want to make a point in the Bible, something where you were never there when that whole thing was written or said. All of a sudden now, you have the revelation that the point that you got to make is that you got to spit in your hand and pull somebody's face. You who is standing there receiving that spit, how much are you getting paid for that, first of all?
Nah.
Is your brain okay? But let's pass that one. Let's go to the congregation. Why do you guys keep accepting this thing? There was another video that I watched where he was pouring syrup and just cake, throwing all this other stuff on,
on the sanctuary.
On the sanctuary altar, however they're calling those churches, and then take that syrup and pour it all over the Bible and said, yeah, I know it's a Bible, but I got it.
Like, at what point are we going to be like, wait, Pastor, this is too much. You're gone too far. We don't need demonstrations like that. Just talk to us. Actually, tell us what the word says and not what you say. How about that? Because I haven't heard any Bible verses from him.
Can you sit through an entire, like, can you go to church through worship? Worship is done. Then there's a sermon. Can you sit through an entire sermon and the priest, the pastor, is preaching and they don't take nothing from the Bible and they're just preaching and just going? Can you sit through that entire thing? Or matter of fact, would you come back for that service in that church if that's the case?
Absolutely not, because I didn't come for your personal opinions. I didn't come for a motivational speech to get me out on a Sunday. I came to have a better understanding of what the Bible is saying, right? And I feel like as a priest, as a pastor, as a religious leader, who in whatever your field is, like, if you feel like you were called to lead people, then you need to lead from the Bible, from the text, not from your own brains and what you think the interpretation, how you think, what you think God is trying. Like, no. What does the word say? You know what I mean? Let's come back to that. So I don't know. I think the people who get caught up in these mega churches are people who don't read the Bible themselves, because if you read the Bible yourself and you heard something crazy, you'd be like, whoa, hold on. That's not in my text. You know, like you would start to have more discernment. So if you don't know what the Bible says, then people could tell you it says anything. You know what I mean? What do they say? People always say that this line is from the Bible. The truth shall set you free. It is not. It's not in the Bible. You know what I mean? But people say it's a Christian phrase, or it's but it's not actually in there. So if you don't read the Bible yourself, people could tell you that it's this, that, the third. People can frame it any type of way because you don't know the word yourself. And so it's easy for you to get swept up. It's easy for you to get caught up in whatever the pastor is saying, right? You're not really, and then I think they're not really actively listening. I think that they go sometimes to do a check off the list, right? Oh, it's Sunday, and to be a good Christian, I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna, yes, pastor, whew. And I got that off my checklist, and then I can just dip and live the rest of my week however I want to, like a heathen, right? I think that like they just get caught up. You're not really thinking about what's being said. You feel good that you're just there, so you're just and and agreeing to whatever is going on, and then you check out and you're done, and you're a good Christian.
Yep.
You know, that's how I feel like a lot of people are. So it's interesting that we keep having these episodes about these religious figures though, because like just last week we were talking about the pastor's wife in the dress.
Yeah.
And now this week it's about the skit. So it's kind of like, is it these comedians or you know, the controversy, is it really about God, or is it about how people are portrayed, like the people of God, how they're acting, right? Like we're not acting like how we're supposed to be. Does that make sense?
Yep. And we're really not, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, well, most times when that happens, we always go, "Oh, nobody's perfect. Oh, this is that." And it also leads back to the whole conversation of, anyways, it leads back to the whole conversation of, for example, what we wear, what we want to portray to the world, you know? So all of a sudden now you come into church and it's a day you pick to wear sere, like it's a day you pick to put your nipples out into the world. Like, why? You know, why can't you just cover up? It's 1 hour, 2 hours of your time. Why can you not just cover up? You know what I mean?
It's not even just like, oh, it's 1 or 2 hours. I think it's like, if you're going to call yourself something, then you should stand by it, right? So if I call myself an intelligent woman, then I need to have like a strong vocabulary. I need to be making smart decisions. I need to present myself in how an intelligent woman portrays himself, right? Because if I don't do those things, if I like talk a certain way or act a certain way, you're gonna be like, this girl says that she's intelligent, but she's not. Like clearly you can see that she's not intelligent, right? So the same thing is like, if you're going to call yourself a member of a certain group, a Christian, a this, a that, then you need to behave like the members of that group behave. Because if you don't, then it's like we're looking at you crazy. You know, that's why all these famous people who suddenly claim God and they go back to their old ways. Who is that OnlyFans girl that she had sex with over like 1,000 people and got baptized the other day? You know what I mean? Like, that's blasphemous. I feel like that's using God in vain. You know, this little skit, I feel like is highlighting the pastor. Like, anyway, I feel like I've gotten off topic.
Man, I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge, but that girl who had 1,000 dicks and then the following day went and got baptized.
Hello. I said, that's not how it works. That's not how it works, babes. That's not how it works at all. At all.
I said, okay.
You just got a bath. That's what that was. Hey. You got a public bath.
Now, that one is blasphemy.
That's what I said. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, God, again, like I said, I'm not judging. You call your souls however you want to call your souls. That's between you and them. But me, I am definitely like looking like, fun.
I judge a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. God knows He's looking at me like, girl, don't be saying that you don't judge, because
God is not a man.
You know. Yeah, man, Mr. Aka, thank you for joining us, man. How you feeling? How you living?
Man, I'm good. No stress. What about you guys?
Are you going to be that like mellow? Can you pick up your tone? Like,
yes, sir.
There you go. Yeah, pick up.
I'm doing great. I'm doing good.
Yeah, bring the energy, man. You know. Anyways, we're talking about Druski, man. You know Druski, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're talking about that skit, man. What's your opinion to it? What's your take to it? When you seen it the very first time, how did you feel about it?
I mean, I put on Christian Dior and Christian little things because first of all, I'm a Christian, and guess what?
That's the word that I said. And I walk in the blood of Jesus.
Yep. I was like, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't judge. I mean, he's doing his thing, fun time, making his money. But I mean, that's actually why God is not a man. Because if God was a man, for real, I don't think he would have lasted. If it was back in the Old Testament, back in those days, bro, I don't think he would have lasted another 24 hours. But I mean, at the end of the day, we live in a world where, like, you know, it is what it is.
Do you go to church?
Yeah, I do.
So when you go to church,
Mm-hmm.
whatever church you go to, does your
Mhm.
pastor dress flashes?
Of course, he does. Yes,
Okay.
it looks good.
They do have to look good and flashy, would you say?
Bro, you can, as long as it's not revealing, as long as it's decent, then I mean, yeah, it's just a brand. Christian Dior, Christian Louboutin, these are all just brands, right? The same way Nike is just a brand, and whatever Shein or whatever other people put on are just brands.
So do you feel like it's like if your pastor is wearing Christian Dior and
Mhm.
Louis Vuitton and like all these like name brand, like high end every Sunday, right? And then like people of the congregation come and they're like, Pastor, I need help with like my food stamps run out,
Yeah.
and he's like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
how are you feeling about that? Or like, do you feel like you're with your church, with your pastor who does wear the flashy clothes, if someone came in need, is he willing to help that person? Oh, that has it. The breath. It told me. It told me what I
Yeah.
needed to know.
So there is this. I was not gonna think about this thing, right? And I was going, well, pastors actually get paid, right?
They do. Yep.
They get paid, no problem. But to wear designers, different ones every Sunday, bro, every single Sunday on a pastor's salary. I don't know what a pastor's salary is, but to do that every Sunday, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not judging, but I'm definitely have a little judge somewhere in there, And then somebody said from this, somebody mentioned from this whole skit that, oh yeah, it was a guy from Europe. I'm gonna forget his name. The guy from Europe, Toby. There you go, Pastor Toby from Europe, who said pastors are the ones who even donate more than rappers. I'm like, bro, why the rappers have why rappers taking shots in this whole thing, man? Rappers have nothing to do with this. This is a comedian who made a skit.
Pastors donate more than rappers.
Yeah,
Pastor Toby, I think Pastor Toby is like in the same circle because he does all that. He has a Ferrari, McLaren, and all that stuff. So literally, I mean, he's definitely going to want to protect that
part of his image.
But the thing is, nobody was talking to him in the first place. Yeah, you're all the way in Europe.
That's just him feeling
talking to
guilty. He's in the UK. That's just him feeling guilty. I mean, he be inviting celebrities, going with the celebrities, and the rest, right, and doing all that stuff. So I mean, it's just him because at the end of the day, he knows, he's definitely going to be jacking to this as well because he puts on the designer clothes, drive the most flashy cars and all that stuff. So pretty much, he's just out there trying to defend himself before the stray bullet get to reach him and all that. So
I'm not denying, but I still think it was a reach. It's a reach to make yourself known. It's like, guy, just stay over there. Nobody asked you. Stay over there. Be quiet.
Maybe a couple little people were saying something, and he thought he was going to try to shut it down before it got too big, but he made it worse.
Hey,
I think he did. Yeah.
I do have a question though. What
Sure.
y'all think? So I feel like I was just thinking, people often say of the religions that get mocked, it always feels like it's Christianity / Catholicism. They're always they never play with any of the other religions, but they always play with Christianity, or they always mock Christianity. Do you guys feel like it's the religion or it's how the people have used it? So what I mean is do you feel like, not to say that Christianity has a reason to be mocked, but do you feel the way that we have been practicing it, for that reason it gets mocked? Or do you feel it's for a different reason? I don't know. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I think it's how, not the practice in itself, but it's how the people have taken that practice and turned it into something else, right? It's like right now you have what we've known as the US government, and then all of a sudden somebody just jumped in and turned it, flipped it around. And we're just like, okay, you know what I mean? Type shit. But, okay, I'm Catholic, right? And part of that too comes with, you always hear that priest molesting little kids, you know what I mean? And you sitting there like, what? Like, that's crazy, But it's something that happens, and it's something that they cover up, right? And that's also probably one of the reasons that I might feel some type of way actually going to church. I sitting there in my head is like, this thing is going on, I mean, again, they say, leave it to God to be the vindicator, the judge, and all whatnot. They also gave me a brain and feelings to feel. You know what I mean? So I could think, to feel, and I could make decisions for myself and things like that. So I don't know. I just think that the people in it make it feel that way. When we go to each religion is being laughed at somehow, in some way, shape, or form. The other guys, I always say there are people who say Allah Akbar and then they go kill. I'm like, what kind of craziness is that? You know, like that's nuts. Like,
okay, Uncle AK, this is what I think, right? First, the truth is what you believe in, right? If I tell you good morning and someone tells you no, it's not good morning. I mean, whatever you believe is the truth. Whatever you believe in is the truth according to you, right? Now, with Christianity, what I think is, or my perspective is, being raised to Christians, number one, or what you've been taught, or the doctrine is 100% about love. No matter what they do to you, you got to be compassionate, right? You got to treat people with love. You got to do this, like, you have to be soft-hearted. And now, on the other side, the Muslim, I mean, when I was in school, I studied 1 or 2. I had some Muslim friends. But what they believe in, what I was told is, if you die for a just cause, let's say, for instance, you're dying in order to, like, let's say, for instance, like, people are mocking your religion, right? And you're trying to protect your religion, right? And stuff like that. And you die for such a cause, you're going straight up to heaven. But is that what Christianity says? Is that what the Bible tells us? No. So you see, at the end of the day, like, how you were being trained or how you were being raised or how the message was being passed down influence who you are. Now, most people cannot even make mockery of, like, the Muslim religions or the other religions. Why? Because, I mean, no matter what you do, they know you need to face the consequences. You know what I mean, right? Like, for instance, right now, this Cameroonian artist 237 Town Crier, he made this music, the latest music he made, and the Nigerian Muslim community asked him to bring it down, or else they're going to come for him because he is making mockery of their religion. But if it was a Christian, like, for instance, many other people, many musicians have made mockery or, like, say some stuff about Christianity, about Jesus Christ and stuff like that. But what did the Christian do? Does that make sense? It was how you're being raised, and at the end of the day, the truth, how the religion is being passed down, and at the end of the day, the truth is what you believe in as well. So if you believe, hey, according to you, if you believe, hey, if I, like, die fighting for this because I'm going straight to heaven, why not? I'm going to fight for it because I know, like, if I die in the process, then, I mean, I'm going straight up to heaven.
Nah, I'll be in heaven, seeing them in hell. But I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. You know what I mean? But that does not negate the fact that as I grow in my Christian faith, right, I'm not allowed to think for myself like I would normally do.
You are definitely allowed to think for yourself. You are allowed to think for yourself 100%. But at the end of the day, how was the message passed down to you? How was the religion? Like, because these are stuff which we inherited, right? Somebody just, like, a white man came to Africa and all that. Let's just, like, based on the African stuff. And how was it passed down? You got to forgive. Like, if somebody slaps you on this cheek, then the other cheek said they just slap you. You see, it's all about you just being soft-hearted.
So wait, hold on, time out. When have you ever turned the other cheek for somebody to smack?
My man, you slam me, I go back and back for you. That's why I'm not God. That's why I am not God. But what I'm trying to say is, because the question Hannah asked was, why is the Christian, like, why the Christian community or the Christian religion, like, is getting mocked more than the other religions? And that's simply the reason why. Because Christians, I mean, they have never been violent. They have always been known to how to preach peace and love. Like, that's a Christian.
Christians have never been violent.
Back that up, because that is not true.
Oh, yeah, bring it down. Bring it down.
The
Crusaders. Tell me when. Not for real, because they, like, the only time, because Christians, followers of Jesus Christ, we're talking about the New Testament. Let's not go back to the, like, now.
No.
The only time Jesus Christ
is Christianity.
So
I'm talking about how people use Christianity.
Okay.
I don't about peace and love. I don't know. Personally, I think my answer to that question would be that I feel like with other religions, they tend to be more universal and more, like, stringent, I guess, not stringent, but more conservative in their beliefs, right? When I say conservative, I mean, like, this is kind of like their core beliefs, right? They kind of all practice in the same way, and this is really who they are. But I feel like when it comes to Christianity, there are so many denominations, so many different types of it, that opens up, like, discrepancies, and that opens up ways that people can kind of mock you, because it's like, well, you guys can't even agree on one thing. So I think it kind of starts to open up things to outsiders or people not in the religion. And then I think it's how we act sometimes, right? I think there are a lot of hypocrites within Christianity, right? I think a lot of us act holier than thou. We think we're so much better than others, but yet we actually are heathen. I think there's just a lot of hypocrisy, and that's what people see, and I think that's what people try to mock. So that would be my answer. I think that other religions tend to be more universal, like I said, more conservative, more like this is how we believe, this is how we show our faith. These are our strict rules. We don't eat this, we do this, we don't do this on this day. They have like their rules, and for the most part, if you're in that religion, they stick to those rules. But like I said, in Christianity, there are so many different types. And it's like, well, some people believe that the stuff in the Old Testament, like it's still the law. Whereas other people are like, well, no, Jesus came to fulfill the law. So the stuff in the Old Testament doesn't really count. So, you know what I mean? So there's so much like division, even within our own faith, that I think other people see that and they try to exploit it. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. I don't know. That's what I think.
I'm asking a very crazy question here. Well, not crazy, but dumb crazy. When did they implement the whole move from Old to New Testament? I think I missed when they announced it. When did they announce it, bro?
Like in the Bible?
No, Kim was mentioning Old and New Testament. Like we know there's an Old Testament and there's a New Testament, right?
Yes, there is.
When did they make the official announcement that, okay, let's start using New Testament and not so much of the Old Testament?
Oh, what did you mean by when did they make the official announcement? When Jesus Christ came into this world, what was his purpose? Back in the days, like for instance, back in the days, it was kind of like if you sin or if you did something.
Before you go to the time out, pause. Was the Old and New Testament, have they always existed side by side?
No.
So I'll ask you again. At what point in time was the New Testament introduced?
When Jesus Christ came into the world.
That's when the New Testament was introduced?
Yes.
When was that, bro?
Bro, I don't know when that was, but this is what I know. I don't know where you're trying to head to right now.
Like, hey, Hakeem, I can't help.
Hold on, back. Let me do a Google. Hold on.
What are you trying to do, right?
I'm trying to Google something real quick. Hold on. I'll be right back. You guys continue chatting. I'll be right back.
No, because this was your question.
No, Hannah, I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Back in the days, right? Now, if you did something, God strikes you. If you did something wrong, God strikes you like straight out the spot. Then after Jesus Christ came into the world, what happened? Does that make sense? So
no, I get what you're saying.
I don't understand what AK is trying to like. Where the question is right now, man.
I think you're answering like in the Bible, what's the Old and what's the New Testament, like what that did, like where that line is, and like yes, it's when Jesus Christ came in. Yeah, I think he's trying to say like literally in history, when did they come up with the concept of it? Is that what you're trying to ask, AK?
Very much, yeah.
Like, yeah, he's trying to say like when actually in history did the collective group decide that this is going to be New Testament and this is going to be Old?
Another reason why I asked that is because you mentioned something about Christians being divided, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that division within the Christian realm, each denomination is carving out their own rules and principles and guidelines and things like that, right?
Correct.
And now you have these same different groups going in and rewriting their whole guideline constitutions, however, you want to put it. For example, all of a sudden now it's acceptable to have same-sex marriages in church, versus the other, like non-Christians that would not accept that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So just in my mind, I'm going, when you have too many people speaking, we have just like, back then when people were speaking the same language and they wanted to build that big tower to go touch the sky. And
heaven.
God chopped it down and said, you know what? I'm gonna divide you guys, and you speak that language, you speak that language, you speak that language, you speak that. That's pretty much what Christianity really is like, and that division just what keeps making it so that people can, talk ill about us, and there would be no unity whatsoever for us to stand one. Everybody be like, no, I'm not. No, I'm that.
Yeah. You just brought up a good point that made me think. Like, do you also think that maybe is it because the Bible is translated into English versus like if we're talking about the Quran or the Torah, right? The Quran is in Arabic and it's not ever going to be translated. It's only this, it's the same Arabic. So nothing can really get like lost in translation, or I guess you can still use words differently in this day and age versus back then. But then like the Torah is in Hebrew, right? Again, it's not being translated or anything. So do you feel like because the Bible got translated and now because there are so many different translations too and different like interpretations of words, like maybe that contributes as well? I don't know.
Yep, that's another factor.
And also like it's hard to mock something
I'll say this 100% too, because this is the thing. You go to two different churches and like, the both of them can interpret the same scripture different ways. Like,
yeah.
So I think that's actually another factor too.
Yeah. And I'm like, you can't really mock Muslims because you can't read Arabic. So you don't know what it's, you know what I mean? So it's like harder to do, like, whereas English, people can mock that easier, I don't know. Anyway, just thoughts.
If you're doing something foul and you're being mocked and you don't say anything, what does that say about you?
If I'm doing something foul and I'm being mocked.
And you don't say anything, what does that say about you? That means it's true, right?
That means it's true, yep. That's you just feeling guilty and like, you don't even know how to express yourself. Like, come out with it. So.
But anyways, back like to this whole thing just came from that whole Megachurch and Druski Skit thing. And, most of the mega church pastors are getting upset and getting mad, saying this or the third. If you were really about the word of God, you would have never responded in the first place. What did God say? Let me handle that, and you go handle my flock. So you are busy talking about that, and then you're talking about people being distracted. Who is really being distracted then?
Right. And also he said, like, do you know how many people didn't spend time with their family and their kids? What are you talking about? Because I can swear that nobody lost sleep over this little video. You really think that I watched this video all of 3 minutes and I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, I didn't go to my job, I didn't do my what?
For real.
You really thought that was all the distraction? Come on, dude. That just told me too. I was like, yeah, he knows that he's wrong and he's just trying to like create a different type of message. That's the distraction. His message is actually the distraction.
Correct.
But do you know how many people didn't? No, nobody. Or you did. You didn't spend time with your kids because you were figuring out how to handle this. But I swear none of us lost sleep. None of us lost time with our families over that video.
If in anything, I gained a new way to smile. To laugh. I learned a new way to smile. Laugh. Sorry. But yeah, Mr. Aka, let me come back to you again. So you mentioned that you like your pastor being flashy. Why?
I didn't say I like my pastor being flashy. Remember what? Sorry. What I said was being flashy, looking good. I actually put all of them in the same bracket. Now, what happened or where you came in to make that disparity was like, the designer brand, right? What you're putting on. Like, and I believe you're saying that attributing the cost of like, those outfits, correct? And as a pastor, like, let's say for instance, there are many other ways you can impact or assist the community or like the members of your church rather than you spending like, bands upon like, on designer outfits and stuff like that. So which when Hannah understood it, that's why I was kind of like I couldn't say anything else. But yeah, my pastor looking good. Yes, it's something I like, but him spending those bands on designers' outfits and stuff like that, and that's not something I'll definitely see and smile about. Just trust me. Even myself, I need help.
Sorry. I don't trust a too flashy pastor. I don't trust a rich pastor because you're called to be humble. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, be in threads that are tattered and drive a hoopty, but, like, be humble, you
Seek
know?
first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added unto it, right? So, but now, I mean, like you being flashy, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to call Pastor Toby again, bro. That's another level, bro. Damn. But yeah,
I understand that, you know, you can impact by the word of God. You can impact by praying with somebody, you know, this and the third. But don't come and tell me to donate. Matter of fact, the way you even take and tell me, the tone in which you take and tell me, you guilt me. I'm supposed to feel guilty for not tithing or donating. When I look at you and from head to toe,
then I look at myself.
and and I'm like,
Yeah.
this nigga talking to me? This nigga talking to me? I'm like, bruh, I know you're not talking to me. But anyways, all right.
So since we're talking about tithing and money, right, that leads to this other part of Druski. When he was talking to the congregation, he said that he needs to raise $4 million, right? And he was like pressuring the congregation. So that reminded me of two videos. The first was when the pastor, y'all remember when the pastor was like, all right, you know, the offering baskets are coming around. He said, ushers, lock the doors. What are you doing? Lock the doors, or shut the doors, right? So he was going to trap them people in there until they gave money, right? The second video I thought about was when the woman came up and he said, this is only $1,200. Only $1,200. I'm sorry, what? Do you know what I can do with $1,200? Anyway, this is only $1,200. I said $2,000. And she's like, I know, well, you're gonna have to work on the other 8. So we see, like, when you see those videos, right? And then you see this part, Druski, the
Put me
4 million.
in that woman's shoes. That like when the pastor said that statement, I'll be like, can I get my money back? And trust me, immediately I'm walking out of that church and you never see me again. That's
she had the audacity to defend him. She defended him. She was like, no, I was in the wrong. Whatever, bro. Whatever.
I think that's one thing. Like brainwash, bro. I don't know, but Christians have been brainwashed a lot using the Bible. That's one thing I know for sure.
All I know is if you ask me to bring $2,000 in tithing, you better give me the keys to the church and give me a room in the corner too. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, hey, that's your room right over there, bruh. The room you are renting. Because 2 bands, bruh. God. you know I'm your favorite son. But 2 bands though, I don't know, fam.
That's a lot. I mean, one, in this economy. And 2, again, especially if you
Just forget about it being entitlement. Like, bro, if you have 2 bands and I have up 2 bands, I offer to give you $1,100, man. You know that's anything.
Wait, he's playing out for me.
What'd you say?
Sense, okay?
Say it again.
I mean, if you're asking for 2 bands station and I have 1,200, bro, it's all about the entitlement. That's what's getting me just so peeved. Like, you're not entitled. This is my money. I need for me to donate.
Right.
Even if I donate $100.
Okay. You were saying something about $1,200.
Yeah, I was saying is like what's actually getting me so frustrated or so pissed about that video. What actually got me so pissed is the level of entitlement. You're asking for a donation. Even if I gave you $100, you should be appreciative of it.
You make $100. You should be grateful.
That's the thing, that's anything. And to the extent where you're calling me out for giving $1,200, bro. Do you know how many people that money can
say? Thank you. Right back.
That's not your
I was like, just take a look at the level of entitlement from this, bro. And trust me, right now, I'll be 100% real. I don't blame people for not going to church, for real, because man, we've seen it. We've seen it all already. In this generation, we've seen it all.
Best guys, this
never got locked into a church. Oh my!
I know.
Like, I feel like that would do some psychological damage to me, because a place where I should feel safe locked me in there, held me hostage until I gave you my little $5. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Let me ask you this about the locked door thing. So say, for example, if if they wanted to read the Word of God, for example, right? And they didn't want anybody walking into the church, and they close the doors just for that time. They read a sermon and then they open the doors. Would you be okay with that?
Yes, different. I've done that, been there for that. So different because like I don't like it's just is a different feeling, right? Like if they tell me, hey, we're about to pray, or hey, we're about to read, you know, this part of the sermon, like I can hold it. I don't have to go to the bathroom. I don't have to feel like I have to run out, right? But it's just something about like if you're saying like lock the doors because the baskets are coming, I'm like, I don't know. I'm just feeling uncomfortable, right? It's not I'm just feeling very like not going to be here next Sunday.
Lock the doors.
Right. No, let me out. Let me out. I will, you know, listen, I could fake a something. I'm gonna fake a medical event. I got to go. Do not leave me in here.
That shit was.
Now take a look at this, right? When I was young, I had one of my older cousins, like we used to go to the Catholic Church. And it's so funny because, like, you know, some days you go and you have just two offerings. Uncle Eke, you know how it is. Some days you go and, like, you know, you just need to keep going. Like this contribution, there's this contribution. And the funny thing is how they leave. Like it's one person after the other, roll by roll. So if everybody leaves and you don't go, then trust me, everybody who knows, oh, this person didn't contribute for this event, right? So on that day, like, you know, as usual, we're all young. Like before going to church, they give everybody, like, you know, they give you your own offerings and stuff like that. So I'm sure she's a little bit older than us though. So we all went, and the first one, we all went. The second one, she went. I and my other cousin sat down. The third one, she went again. And we're like, at the end of the day, we're like, how did you do it? She was like, she had kind of like, you know, back in the days, the cement paper. So she had some where she's written down some numbers. So like, you know, she couldn't just sit down and get embarrassed. So she had to go and drop that into the offering box. I was like, yo. So that's the kind of pressure some of these churches makes their Christians go through. Doesn't make sense. Because take a look, she didn't have the money, but just because of the pressure.
There's no amount of pressure. Any church can pressure me, bruh, to give what I don't got. Nigga, I don't got this shit, bruh.
Uncle AK to the level where they'll say close that door. When they shut the door, so they will still you can even go out. It's either bro.
Listen, I'm not worried about the closed doors. You know what I mean? I am so not worried about that because at the end of the day, you're still gonna pass that box or whatever that thing is, basket, and I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna slide it to the person next to me. There's nothing I can do about it. But definitely when I want to walk out the building, somebody better open the door for me to go. You know what I mean? Don't start nothing that you don't want these problems, man. You don't want me to poop on your floor.
Okay, see, you don't have to take it that far. There is no need for that.
Yeah, you're right. My bad, yo.
What's wrong with yours, bandwidth?
I think it's your presence, man, because everything was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't just join this.
Everything was fine, man. Before
I have been there for a minute, so
you know what I mean?
No way this can be my presence.
Before you came, we're here talking, chatting, everything was perfectly fine.
It was fairly calm, and then I don't know. It was just one wild comment. We'll see. We'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
One wild comment for him is actually not too bad. So question.
He said bandwidth, like internet.
Internet connection, yeah.
Oh. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, go ahead. Question.
Oh my God. Whose bandwidth is it?
No, he was just saying that what's wrong with your bandwidth today. And I'm going, is because of your presence. Because since you've been here, the band, like, internet has been sucking. But maybe it's the cold effect outside, man. Though all the snow and all whatnot.
Michiganders. Thank God I left.
It's a blizzard here.
I know, man. I saw the videos, all the cars, vehicles piled up on the road and all that stuff. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, 100+ car pileup.
I'm so happy I left.
That's kind of wild to me. 100 cars.
100+. Did you see the roads? Because I think there was a
guys. We're switching focus. Here.
Oh.
Switching focus here. Come back. And I had a question.
Have you guys heard of the phrase church hurt? Because I guess it's trending. I haven't heard of it really, but
church what?
Church hurt.
the phrase church hurt, and it's been trending in the comments. So basically, it comes from people who were harmed by churches that they've trusted. And so they feel like Druski is highlighting that. Have you guys heard of church hurt?
Never heard of it.
Personally, I haven't.
Never heard of it. How does a church hurt you?
Actually, I just saw this video. I haven't been hurt by the church, thank God. But I did see this video of this woman who was talking about how when she went to church, she met a woman who actually introduced her to prostitution. And that, I feel like, is church hurt.
You did send me that.
I mean, it depends on what church you went to. What type of church is that in the first place? I mean, she was willing to join, or like, to get into it in the first place. Because,
she was a young girl. There was like this, like a podcast or something. I just watched the clip, but yeah, she was talking about how she was like 14 or 15 at the time. She went to church. She like joined the choir, and this girl that she ended up meeting in the church like actually introduced her to prostitution. Later introduced her to drugs, introduced her to porn, like whole like left field type stuff.
So wait, is that church or is that the individual?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
Individual. I think church. I don't know. I don't really know what. Like I said, I don't really know what church.
I mean, she just got connected, or she probably just met the wrong person, and she's like church.
In the church, though, like that.
I mean, that's our issue. The church welcomes everybody. Jesus Christ come to the world.
I think why it's called church hurt, though. For that is why I would say church hurt, because like you go to a place that you're supposed to feel safe, and you're supposed to be around people that are supposed to be good, godly people to help you get further, and yet they take you into sin. And so then how do you, when you come out of all that, right, when she gets her life together and she's no longer a prostitute, like, how do you come back to God after that? Because I tried to go to God, but his people, the people that claim him, led me down, you know what I mean? So I feel like psychologically, how do you reconcile your relationship with God, or how do you find faith after being hurt by the church, right?
What?
No matter how everybody try to make it, you have your own self-will. You choose to. You can be like, no, I don't want to do it. No one's going to force you to do it.
Okay.
Church healed me, for real. The church helped me. It has healed me. So,
that's not her story. That's what I'm saying. She went to church and got into prostitution. That's not your story. So how does she come back after that? How do you trust someone who says God is good when the last person who told you that got you hooked onto drugs and got you on OnlyFans?
So, a few things.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
A few things here, right? I do agree with both of you. One, yeah, that person, that individual got the willpower, right? Mm-hmm. And they were not strong enough to withstand the devil. But there's the thing to begin with is, you mentioned that you go to a place where everybody like push you in Christianity, while I do agree with you, I also tell you that the church is like a hospital, right? It's where the hospital is where the sick go to get healed, right? The church is where the sinners go to get healed too, right? Most people who are in church actually, everybody's in church are sinners. Remember, even all the apostles, for example, all the people who were closer to God, to Jesus, like he actually picked a handful, for example, like 3 of them or 4 to push further, like where he goes to pray, right? He'll leave the rest back. He'll take a handful and go. He could have taken all of them, but he took a handful. Not to say that, these people are sinners, I just want to know, but he believed in having few with him versus the group, right? Yeah. What I'm trying to say is, this individual got into the church. You did not go to the pastor. You did not go to, who is the leader of this thing, right? The pastor, right? You go, a choir member leads you into that. At what point did you stop and say, this is not right? And go back to the pastor and say, hey, I'm sinning, and that's what I say, and try to find balance, try to find normalcy. Or find somebody else and get a different experience, right? From that person's experience. At what point you do that? You just stick to one thing and then you just go and go and go. And then now you blame the church. How is it that church? Now, if we're talking about, I guess it's somebody in the church, yes, but it's not the church in itself, right? Just going by the title.
But I mean, yes and no, because you are a representative of the church, right? So, okay, I'll take it one step further. You talked about priest, right, and little kids. So that little kid grows up in the church, right? They get violated by the pastor, the priest, the person that you said that this woman should have gone to. That's the person who's actually committing the assault. Now the kid's just supposed to figure it out, just supposed to stop living in sin, just supposed to stop when the leader, the person that they trusted inside the church led them astray, violated them. They're supposed to just figure out how to not sin and go to a different adult that they somehow trust.
Well, you, like you said, you are pushing it one thing further. Now, if I answer that one now, you take my response and push another thing further. Like, what are we doing?
No, I'm just explaining what church hurt is, right? You're trying to say like, oh, it's up to the individual and the victim, and it's not really the church who's doing it. It's just one person in the church. But I'm trying to say like how that doesn't suffice. That's not a good statement because it doesn't work for all scenarios. You know, I feel like church hurt is, yes, people in the church do bad things and they don't act according to God. And I think that there are a lot of, in every religion, right? But I do think that there are a lot of ways that religion gets used to overpower people or to try to say that certain things are right when they're really not right. You know what I mean? And people use religion as influence. And so I think that's where church hurt comes from. It's not really saying the hurt is actually from God and God did these things. No, but the people who say reflect what God is thinking, they hurt that person. And now that person, the victim, has to figure out, do they really believe in God? What is real and what's not? You know, people who grow up in cults, right? Or like the Latter-day Saints and stuff like that, they believe a certain way. When they get out of it, they have to figure out, well, what's real and what's not, like what's actually the word of God and what was a part of the cult or the ideology that I grew up in believing. That's church hurt. That's what I think.
Still don't make sense to me.
I don't know. That's just,
hold on. That still makes sense. The reason I say that is because if you say the individuals in church hurt, that would make sense.
That makes more sense. Yep.
But then when you say the church, I'm like, bro.
But the church is not always like helpful too. Like the church, the people, we just were talking about these mega churches and how they don't spew right messages. So the church as a collective is not always spewing good information. You talked about it being a hospital. A good church is a good hospital, but there are also bad hospitals out there who like to kill people. You know what I mean? So like, it's still about the message and like, yeah, the church is a collective at this point. It's an individual and it's a collective.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I talk to the Most High directly. You know, I don't need a middle person, a middleman.
I'll keep saying the truth is what you believe in. I believe in God. I pray, I talk to God, and that's good for me. I mean, I'm good with that. Yeah.
We always want to have that sense of community, right? So go to church, belong in that's one form of, community. That's one form of
feeling like you belong.
Yeah, belong. You go outside your home, you belong to a congregation, a certain group of people, you do all of that, you think alike. And that's perfectly fine, if you ask me. But
it's not a necessity.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not. And don't force me to contribute to your lavish living, because you ain't contributing my own. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyways, who's going to church on Sunday?
Okay.
Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna tell you something. Right? It's not like I'm proud to say this, but the last time I went to church was this Friday because I went for a friend's mother's funeral. And before then, the last time I went to church was when we were in Minnesota. Can you imagine that?
Really?
Yeah.
That time when you guys told me to go, I said, I'm not going nowhere, fam. I am not going nowhere. You guys going to go. I am staying home. But everybody looked at me. I said, did I stutter? I am staying home. You guys go ahead. Everybody was like, bro, this guy is different.
So the last time was when we were in Minnesota, and after that, I didn't for real. Because I went to church once, and I didn't actually feel how the message I had wasn't what I wanted to hear or what I expected. It was more like, the prosperity kind of message, like just preaching prosperity and not the truth, not really what I want to hear. So, Hannah, that's what I'm talking about. Willpower, right? At the end of the day, what's the truth. And as I earlier mentioned it, I'll still keep saying it. The truth is what you believe in. So I believe, because at the end of the day, they'll say all this and they'll tell you, hey, you need to sow a seed. And when they got to that point, I was like, I'm not even staying for the offering. I left. And since then, I haven't been in church anymore. So if you go or if you get into a church from the very first day or from the second day, trust me, you would definitely, bro. I don't even know when they get into somewhere and you like your spirit doesn't relate, bro. You feel it. I don't know how some people do it, but I feel it. If I go to somewhere first time, second time, based on the communication, and bro, I feel like, hey, this is nowhere I belong, and I like walk out.
Yep, agree.
So talking about church hurts. Sometimes you have to believe in your instinct. Listen, you got to be smart as well wherever you're at, because as you guys know, people do switch up a lot. They do change just to get whatever they want. So I went there, I heard that, and it's not what I expected to hear, not what I wanted to hear. It didn't feel like the gospel to me. It felt like prosperity gospel. If this person can do it, you can do it. You're gonna buy an airplane. You can buy this. You can do this. You can do that. But bro, the pastor himself doesn't even look like he has $5,000. I'm like, okay, now so what am I doing here? That's not what I wanted to hear. So I had to leave. Tell me about the gospel. Tell me the truth. Tell me, hey, it's end time. You're gonna see this. You're gonna see this. You need to give your life to Christ and all that. That's what I want to hear. The truth. Not you telling me about prosperity and all that. Sow a seed. This person sow a seed, and this person with this in return, and all that. Yeah.
I impregnate you the word of God.
Please don't say that. Please. Please. Still makes me feel icky.
You know who he wanted to know? It was an old lady. That's who he wanted to impregnate the word of God. I'm like, guy.
This whole thing feels dirty.
What, the whole skit?
No, that part.
Just that part. Why though?
What part?
Because he was talking about this old woman saying that he's gonna impregnate her with the word of God, and he was like,
oh,
and he's like humping the air and like thrusting, and it threw me. It just did not make me feel good at all.
I didn't say anything wrong with it. Do you think those designers were fake or were real designers for the skit?
Oh, real?
Yeah, just checking.
Now, one question.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hannah, you said that threw you off, right? But now, when the church actually says they want to start blessing or they want to start letting the priest to bless same-sex marriages, how many people came out and spoke about it like, hey, this is actually throwing me off? Because no matter what, trust me, that message got passed, and the population of the church still stayed the same. But everybody, how does that really make sense? Make it make sense.
Well, I think it depends on which church said it, right? Because I think,
wasn't it the Catholic Church?
That said what?
Uncle AK, wasn't it the Catholic Church?
The Pope.
That they were going to let the Catholic priest, to start blessing same-sex marriages. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong.
Yeah, they even took it further by saying that.
There you go.
They even took it further by saying that they'll have priests that
are gay. That like they said, yep.
Yeah.
There you go. That was a Catholic church. Yep. So they said that. Nobody said, hey, that really threw me off. And trust me, the Catholic church population never shrink. It still remained the same. But now Druski, hold on. But now Druski came, and we all know he was just making fun. He was a comedian. He was just making fun in that scenario, and that threw you off, bro. Make it make sense.
Well, no. I think those are two different things. But I was just talking about the phrasing of it. Just that's what threw me off with Druski. But no, about gay marriage, I do think that when the priest said that, there were a lot of people against it. There are a lot of people on each side. So I don't know much about that point to yours, because I feel like you're saying that the church didn't shrink, but I do think that when that was said, people either switched churches or there were some tuffles. It wasn't just smooth,
It was smooth. From what I know, it was smooth.
Mm.
I followed that up.
No, fam, it cannot just be smooth, bro. The church must have been.
I felt like I heard some stuff. Yeah,
must have been losing a lot of his congregation, and they had to make a choice. Bro, nobody just wakes up and makes such a choice, bro. Like, what? You know how much it could either make or hurt your reputation? Nobody just wakes up and makes such a choice without thinking about it very clearly and critically. Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, really, it makes sense, you know. You have a bunch of same-sex people. Yeah.
So what makes sense?
Hey,
What makes sense?
letting there be like gay male priests or something like that.
What makes sense, AK? You said the priest cannot get married to the opposite sex, but you're saying, hey, they can get married to the same sex.
No, don't think about it too much. I'm just saying that, like just on the surface, right? Like same sex, you know, like the priests are already same sex. And then now, and then cause I just joke. It's like I'm cracking a joke-ish, like the Druski thing, you know. Yeah. So yeah. My bad. I should have led with that, you know.
Because I'm like, bro, there's no way this is ever gonna make sense to me.
Even me speaking it, they still don't make sense to me, you know. But hey, I think that is because of that some of these things were birthed. You know, all the people who went to same-sex schools and things like that, man. It's crazy, man. Like, yeah, some of you definitely were introduced to some lifestyle like that at some point in time.
Some of you like who?
Not you, but some of the people who went to like same-sex schools, like Morehouse and things like that. You know, yeah, like they get introduced to. Anyways, yeah. 9:46, man. Any other topics we would like to touch? Yeah, we'll talk about the snow in Michigan, man. You guys stay warm out there, ladies and gentlemen. It's not worth dying on the highway or freezing in the highway just because, you know, your employer does not respect your life.
That's a fact.
I'm just saying.
It's rough driving out here. Listen, yesterday, guys, there was a moment. It was completely white. I know that there was snow on my right side because I could just see it. I could see that there was a car somewhere on my left, but I don't even know where the road was. And I was going around a curve, and I just hoped that I wasn't going to roll up on the sidewalk because I literally couldn't see anything. I almost missed the turn to get into my job. We have a sign. The sign was covered with snow. Like everything was just purely white. Purely white. I lived the closest to my job, and I got there the last. I lived
Yikes.
I feel so sorry for you guys right now.
Mm-hmm. It was so cold, man. I got there at 8:52 yesterday.
I was talking on Quick, and I was thinking of coming to Michigan sometime in February or March, but man, just taking a look at the weather, I'm like, nah, it's not gonna be fun at all.
No time soon, not till summer.
No.
You keep talking like you're trying to rub it in, man. Like you've said that like 3 times already. We've got your point that you don't want to come in the way. We've got your point that you've moved out of Michigan. We've got, bro.
I am super happy. I've moved out of Michigan. The weather here is so beautiful.
We don't want to hear it. We are happy for you already. We start repeating it. Now you're making a mockery of us, and I'm not here for it.
Texas.
Yeah, you know. You're talking all that shit. Let me ask you a question. How many?
I won't answer.
Huh?
I won't answer.
Let me ask you this. How many times did you fall into a snow ditch? How many times?
So the right question is how many times did I crash my car?
Yeah, how many times you crash your car in the snow? You see, that's why you're so excited. Eh? Yeah. I'm excited for you though. Enjoy your heat.
How warm is it down there now?
Right now it should be about 50, 52.
It's 2.
52
here.
It's 2?
No, I'm kidding. It's 13 degrees right now.
I was about to say, man, like the last time
on Friday, they said it's supposed to be 2 degrees. 2 or 3 degrees here.
Wow.
50
Friday?
And
that's insane, bruh.
52 would be really, really nice.
I know, right?
Oh no, it's 13 degrees, but it feels like 1.
Yeah, Saturday's supposed to be 6 degrees. Friday's 10.
Friday for me says -14. Negative.
Yeah, Friday's -14, Saturday -18, Sunday -7, Monday -11. Thursday -1. Golly.
Wow.
I'm shook. I need to get a snowsuit.
And a snow boot too.
Right? I have snow boots, but the suit is what I need to stay warm.
Listen,
All right, guys. Any other topic?
all I'm gonna just say is I'm gonna work from home.
-18.
All I'll say is, hey, you guys stay safe out there.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Aka. Thank you very, very much.
If it's not necessary to drive it, if it's not a necessity, then you guys just stay indoors, stay warm.
I've been seeing people drive on the highway and they can barely see anything, and I'm going, where you guys going? How do you know where you're going?
We can't all work from home, mister. Sorry. Some of us gotta go to work.
Unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yes.
It's unfortunate. But you chose the life you chose, so enjoy it.
I often think
Be
about
very
it.
insensitive. Are you in a rush, Mr. Aka?
Not really.
Okay.
I wanted to go hit the gym.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. Don't rush us. Anyways, any last topics?
I don't have any.
I don't have any.
All right.
Do you have anything you want to discuss?
No, I don't. It's about 9:51, so I don't. Yeah, we've talked enough crap about those pastors and Christianity. But anyways, close the doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Anyways, conclusions, guys. Anna, go first.
Stay warm this week. Oh my gosh, I'm still baffled by the weather. What else did we talk about? Like Keem said, the truth is what you believe in. I'll say sometimes. I won't say that's all the time. Because that would mean that the truth is subjective all the time. What else is a good?
I mean, I'll say it is subjective until when someone proves you otherwise.
I'm going to say, how about this? Choose discernment. That's what I'll end with. That's the conclusion of the week is.
Not everybody even understands what discernment is. Do you know that?
Discernment is being able to tell the difference between the things that are in front of you, right? Can you understand what's really being said? Can you see what's really going on? Can you tell, I won't say like right from wrong, but are you able to navigate through this? Like,
if you can navigate through it, you're going to believe that's the truth, correct? Based on how you navigate, based on your own judgment, your individual judgment.
And not just mine. Discernment is also taking into account like God's will. There's a lot that goes with discernment, but it's thinking wisely. It is not rushing into something. Think about what you're hearing. Think about what you're seeing. There we go. That's my conclusion. And it's not just about religion. It's about everything.
Everything. Life in general.
Just use discernment with everything.
Him is just so fixated on the fact that you believe in what you believe. Like there is not the thing where you can unbelieve that. Like people also got to learn.
Unbelieve that, Uncle AK, when proven. That's the thing. Yeah, that's you learning, right? So let's say, for instance, if you tell me 1 + 1 is 3, and no one else has told me 1 + 1 is 2, and I've never heard about it before, I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I believe it, right? And after that, you come up with a formula you show me. I was like, my belief is definitely going to change.
So how do you explain faith then? Because faith is believing without seeing.
And also too, if you just take somebody's word and know that you can do research and refuse to do your research, what does that say about you?
You're dumb.
There you go. Anyways, I hope, some other people can solve this math the way we just did here, and see how they are walking blindly in the name of following Christ. But let's say fake it till you make it. So hopefully at some point in that journey, you actually do encounter Christ and not follow in the like of somebody. You guys should send me some of your money for tithing too. I'll pray to God for you. But anyways, I wanted to ask you guys this.
I'm sorry. Now, because you said that, you just reminded me and I apologize. But did y'all see, it was the Republican so-and-so. She's like the new pastor for the Republican Party. Anyway, she was talking about how if you guys send her $2,000 or something like that, she will personally make sure that your prayers get to Jesus and it comes with like 12 different blessings. Have you guys not heard about this?
Mm-mm.
Okay. She had like a commercial and it was talking about, hold on. Y'all can keep talking while I try to find it.
Correct. It's the same way as our pastor who said, if somebody gives $10,000 in, what was it? In 5 minutes, or was it 2 minutes? Or a minute, something like that? Then they'll become a multimillionaire because God wants to make a multimillionaire. Somebody has to donate $10,000 in the next 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know, man. One of them.
Why didn't he do the donation? Didn't he like? Why didn't he do
fam.
I'm like,
Oh, this is backward. Oh, it's a
We were able
trust.
to see it.
we were able to see it. It wasn't backwards.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it comes with 7 Easter blessings for $1,000. What a steal.
Them niggas not making enough money, huh? They're not making enough money, huh? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right.
Sorry.
Would you rather questions, right? I have to read for you guys. So the first one, would you rather attend a boring church that uses 90% of its funds to help the community, or an exciting church that uses 60% of its funds to fund the pastor's lifestyle?
I'll go with the boring.
The boring one. I probably won't pay attention to it, but I'd rather that one.
Okay.
I'll go with the boring one.
With the boring one? Okay. Yeah. Why are pastors more upset about Druski's comedy than about actual pastors who are stealing from their congregations? Why is this energy directed at the mirror instead of the reflection?
At the end of the day, there's one thing you got to understand. They're all pastors. They all want tithes. They all want, no matter how hard you say, or no matter how much you try to say, hey, like, I'm a real man of God. Like, they all still need this money to flow into the congregations, right? So Druski literally just made the world to see what's going on, right? And how the money, or most of the money is being utilized, not for the purpose in which many people think it's being used. And all that. So that's actually why. So everyone trying to make you guys to feel like, hey, that's not the truth. That's not what's happening, behind the curtains. But Druski actually reviewed all that. And he did that in a very, very fun and fashionable manner where everybody is definitely going to see. He didn't just go on a podcast, go say stuff like others people do. He actually showed it out and made it so entertaining where everybody wants to see. And from there, everybody is going to start getting to understand what's going on, behind the curtains. So that's actually why.
Facts. Okay. Hannah, lastly, what would actual accountability look like instead of just online debates and viral moments? What will actual accountability look like for these pastors and Christians?
I think actual, are you talking about what it look like for other pastors to condemn the mega ones, or for the
mega pastors to actually look in the mirror, look in the mirror, the reflection we're talking.
I don't know.
Can you rephrase that? I don't think I understood what you're trying to ask. Okay.
So after everything we've discussed, right?
Yep.
Bruce's Skit could either be an ultimate. It could ultimately healing the church, by forcing accountability, or it could hurt the church by normalizing mockery, right? So with that, if we talk about accountability, right, what does that look like? Instead of just us talking and having viral moments, what does the accountability really look like?
I think
action speaks louder than words. There are many things. There are many communities out there which needs help, right? And at the end of the day, no matter how hard you say, or no matter how much you try to make us or the entire world feel like you're helping people or you're impacting lives and stuff like that, trust me, even the Bible said love is given, right? You don't tell me you love me, you have to prove to me you love me, right? And if that's the case, bro, rather than them splurging and doing all this other stuff, they can actually start investing more in their communities. Because there is no way they can tell me their church members as well do not need help. But at the end of the day, you see what they're doing with all the cash. So actual accountability can be for them to start looking into their church members, assisting their communities where they're at and all that. So that's what I'd say.
I think
even within the church, bro, there are some children, some students who still find it hard to pay the school fees, who still find it difficult to afford 3 square meals, right? And all that. Who still find it hard or difficult to get a place to stay, living from hand to mouth and all that. So accountability is you, spreading the love, making them to know, I know the congregation is there for me, I can be there for you guys as well, rather than you trying to make them understand, hey, I asked for $2,000, and why are you giving me, like, why are you coming out here with $1,200? So that's what I think. Yeah, accountability should come from.
I feel like all that's good. I feel like they should be doing that stuff anyway, really taking care of their congregation. But I think a real moment would be like, had like a Pastor Todd or whatever, had he seen that video and been like, you know what, that really made me stop and think. And if he had really like apologized or just been like, you know what, congregation, like sometimes pastors need to get checked too, right? Sometimes we also, I don't know, I just feel like there could have been like a humbling moment. It could have been like, you know what, I could have gotten mad about this, but instead I saw what Druski was trying to do and how kind of absurd that we've gotten. And it made me reflect, and we need to tone it down. Like, I feel like it just really could have been like a moment where they saw what Druski was trying to say about the church, and they really could have like said that they do partake in it and have a moment where they're showing that they are human too. But that, I don't know. I just think that
what you need to understand is they can do that. It's very easy for them to do that, but it's going to affect their cash flow. That's the thing. They want to keep this steady cash flow. Bro.
But that's what we're saying. Like, if we're trying to do true accountability, right? Like, if we're really trying to further the church, like, it might affect the cash flow. But honestly, if you're really serving God is going to take care of you, right? If you're really serving God. So it shouldn't even be about, we're trying to keep the cash flow, we're trying to keep the because the fruits will bear, right? If you're really preaching it, and if God is really, like
manifesting in you.
Like, you will be blessed. And so I just feel like that could have really been a moment where he could have been like, you know what? That made me stop and think. And like, maybe I've gotten too flashy. Maybe I've done too many demonstrations, and we need to keep it. We need to it was a good reminder to bring it back to the word and to keep it simple, to keep it basic, and not to be so showy. And for that congregation, your pastor is sorry. Like, that would have been true accountability. That would have been like, okay, you know what? Let's see where things go from there. But blaming it on distraction, blaming it on this, you're telling me that you're not really about the message and about the word.
You blaming everybody but yourself? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Accountability looks like, AK.
Huh?
What do you think true accountability would look like?
Exactly what you mentioned. You know what I mean? They actually listen to that and taking the certain steps. Well, look at it, have the conversation with yourself. Have the conversation with some people around, right? Not yes men or yes women type people. I mean, talking about people with real opinions that will give you what is and go from there. But most of all, when you look at things like that Skit, he didn't just yank that out of his ass, man. Like, that's reality. You know what I mean? So take a look at it, see where you've been, see where you've been highlighted within, and see how you can control that. I mean, not control, but you can find ways to change that, or use that as an example to go back in time and see some of the other things that you do too, and find other steps to correct that. I mean, I want to say correct that. I mean, do it in Christ-like, right? Like in church-like, in Christianity-like, whatever it is that you believe in, do it in that, not what you as an individual believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's ironic a little bit too that we had just watched that video about Pastor Todd and how he like spat in his hand and he put it on the dude's face and he said sometimes dealing with Jesus can look ugly and it can get nasty, right? That was his whole line, right? That was his whole message, his whole point, to spit on somebody's face, right? That sometimes dealing with Jesus, and you want to turn around, but dealing with Jesus can get nasty, right? That was one of his points. And yet somebody holds a mirror and does this, and now he starts talking about, oh, it's distraction and
Mm-hmm.
But weren't you the one who just said that it looks nasty after spitting on someone's face? And yet now it's distraction and we should turn around.
Yeah,
like what he did was not distracting, right?
Now. Hitting on someone's face with all what's going on in the world right now, all these diseases, all this whatever, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah, you could use water to do the same thing. Could use.
I know. I don't care if you're my pastor. I'm suing you, bro, because that's bro.
Yeah, It was nasty. I mean, like it's foul,
No.
anyway, but it was like nasty.
Like, I'm trying to wonder if there was a conversation that was had prior to that. Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is that. And a dude could have been like, why spit? Why not water, bro? No, I'm gonna do spit because I want it to be live. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna stand there and that's a fuck ass no. That's a fuck ass no. No, bro. No.
You know, go use na me do your experiment. I did.
Even my mom, my own mom, who gave birth to me, bro, right now, like this, at this my age, spits like that, touches me, bro. We are going in straight fist fight. Because why?
Nah, for real.
Like why? But on the flip side, as we close, you know one thing I've always been thinking about, though. You know one thing. You know what I always thought about? I'm like, man, there's one thing on this particular earth that somebody will kill for, but they will not kill for at the same time. Let somebody spit on you. You will have the most craziest anger in the world. But yet, let a woman spit on your dick, and it's a different problem.
Okay, wrap this up, please. What are y'all's conclusions? I've already told mine. Keem, he wasn't doing any of this until you got on here.
What are you trying to say right now?
I don't know. He bring out the worst in him. I don't know.
Well, that was it. That was it. You know, nothing else. I didn't say anything. I was just concluding with that. You know, but yeah. You guys not you guys, but shout out to Druski, man, and his kid. That was a good laugh, man. Please keep them coming. I don't know. You're a writing team, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Like, you guys are up to something. Yeah, keep them coming. Please help me with some production dollars too, man. You know, to produce a set too, man, because we need some production dollars, as you can see. You know, but anyways, shout out to you, man. That's my conclusion. Kim, you got anything, man?
Just everybody out there in Michigan, stay safe. If
the fuck is wrong with this guy in Michigan, man? Like what the fuck, man? Like what the fuck, man? Like how have we been through this already?
Okay, you guys gotta stay indoors, bro.
You had to rub it in one more time.
I had to. I've been waiting for this. But yeah, I'm done. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah. Apparently, when people move out of Michigan, they don't know how to control lights anymore. But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for joining us, man. You know, hope you enjoyed yourself. Come back, fix your lighting, man. Because now it seems as though we're talking to somebody who committed a crime and they don't want to see their face. You know, you're not one of those documentaries, somebody that hacked the US government and now they have to hide and be talking. The only thing I'm missing now is the voice.
Uncle Eke, don't worry. I'll be just keep sending me the invite link and I'll be here all the time.
Yeah, we need to create a set for you, man. You know, this is going on YouTube, a video recording, right? So we need to create a set for you, man. So, anyways, man, if you made it this far, as I always say, man, you're a great one. Shout out to you. You know, let us know what you think about, you know, that Druski skit, man. Let us know. I know you've laughed and laughed and laughed and it's probably passed. But please come back to it again for just this 1 second for us. You know what I mean? Let us know what you think in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, if you're a Christian, you know, everything we discussed. Let us know what you think. If you think we're full of shit, no problem. You know what I mean? We're just 3 young people here just trying to, you know, just vibing, exchanging ideas. If you do up to something, let us know to as well. You know what I mean? Encourage us somehow, some way to keep going.
Yes, sir.
If you have that other bad opinion that nobody really even want to hear, drop it too and see how ignored you'll be. Anyways, man, this is PWC. Shout out to you. Check, hit that subscribe button or smash it, you know, for weekly notifications. Shout out to T. Shout out to Tutu, the cool join us today. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Anna here. My guy Kim here, and myself. I'm here too. You know what I mean? PWC cast, and we are out. Peace.
Bye.